When the past government of ABIA State announced plans to construct an airport of international standard in the state before the expiration of its tenure, some critics stood against the project, not because the project was not feasible within the period, it was because of their lack of confidence in the current government at the time. Due to constant backlash from the citizens, the project was mooted. Since the project plan was mooted by the state government at the time, it sparked up debate on social media and newspapers. The main basis for the argument was that with the Owerri, Port Harcourt and Enugu airport, there was no need for another airport in Abia State. But one surprising thing that citizens fail to understand is that there are not enough airports in Nigeria today, and that for quick and even proper development in line with international economic standard, every state in the country deserves an airport of its own. Let's not forget that Gombe State shares a common boundary with Adamawa State that has both local and international airports, but the Gombe State government at the time constructed a modern airport which has boosted the economy of the state. Asaba Airport is also another airport that was constructed during the Emmanuel Oduagan's administration in Delta State. This was when the state has airport in the oil-rich city of Warri and at the same time shares a common boundary with Edo State, which has an international airport in the state capital, Benin City. The Delta State government, conscious of what the people of the state want and its responsibility to them, went ahead to construct the airport in a strategic place close to the Onitsha Head Bridge. Today, the greatest users of Asaba Airport are businessmen and women from Anambra State, especially those of them in Onitsha Main Market, just as Aba Umuahia people are major users of Owerri Airport. It is clear that if this airport is eventually conceptualized by the new administration, constructed and completed, the Umuahia Airport will boost the economic viability of the state and attract more investors to it. There is no doubt that the proposed airport project, which was actually abandoned, is a right step in the right direction, especially at this period that the present government in the state has transformed and is still transforming the state through massive infrastructural development that are already attracting local and foreign investors. With ABIA International Conference Center completed, the proposed deep sea port, Area International Market and a whole lot, there will be influx of investors into the state more than ever before. The airport, if eventually conceptualized and constructed, will surely make businesses, transactions and movement easier because they will not need to land in Owerri Airport before taking the risks of going by road to Aba or Umuahia for businesses. It is also expected to save the investors and travelers time and at the same time generate money and create jobs in the states. Recall that as an expression of their readiness and eagerness to have an airport, two communities in Abia State had donated 1,500 hectares of land to the state government for the project. At the time, the land was donated by Ikwano, Umuahia South and Obingwa people, which went through formal acquisition process. Apart from economic gains of such project to both the state government and investors, the conducive and secure atmosphere provided by the state government in Abia State is another great source of motivation for investors. Obviously, no investor will want to invest his money in a crime or violent-prone area. Even though there are cases of insecurity here and there, especially with the Biafra agitation, it is expected that if eventually conceptualized, the state government will work out plans on how to liaise or curb the menace of insecurity within the region. The Abia State example and success story in the area of public-private partnership should be replicated in other states because due to paucity of funds and other administrative challenges, government alone cannot fund all projects, especially a massive one like the construction of a modern airport in Umuahia. Even though the project didn't see the light of the day during the past administration, there is every need for the current government of Abia State to look into this project as it is actually going to boost the economic stability of Abia State and Aba in particular. Apparently, unfazed by the viability hurdle facing airport nationwide, the current Abia State Governor Alex Otti seems not to be interested in constructing any airport during his administration. Against the anticipation of people, the Abia State Governor Alex Otti has noted that airport is not necessary for Abia as his administration will not venture into such projects. The governor also advised his aides not to promote the issue of an airport as he won't be venturing into such projects as governor. There has also been calls on the new governor to build an airport in the state before his administration ends as governor of Abia State, following the opening of Ebonyi International Airport, now Muhammadu Buhari International Airport, built by former Governor David Mahi. Some of the supporters of the new administration noted that Abia was the only state out of the 5 southeast states without an airport. However, the new governor noted that the distance between Abia State and Owerri Cargo Airport was not far, and as such, the idea of an airport was not necessary as it is not so important at the moment. Well, this is understandable as there are other important or most important projects to be executed by the Abia State government. However, it is not totally out of place to have your own airport as it will also generate income for you, build the IGRO, and also create jobs and opportunities for the citizens of a state. So for me, it is important that the state government looks into it. We might have criticized the leaders that have actually led Abia State in the past administrations, but we should also understand that having an airport in a state like Abia, which has Aba as one of its economic epicenters, is very important and would go a long way to help the citizens, especially those who are into import and export. Consequently, Abia is more technically economical than Owerri, which is more like a civil servant state or an enjoyment state, and so it is very important to have an airport in Abia State also. One of the reasons why the Owerri Cargo Airport was constructed was to serve Abia State because they saw the need for an airport that would actually create more jobs and employment and also generate good income for the state. This simply means that Imo State at the time saw the need for an airport that would actually serve its people and the neighboring Abia State, which would in turn generate income for the state, and I'm sure it is already doing so, as those who are actually traveling to Abia State would have to go through Imo State for them to get to their state. Businessmen and women, investors also fly through Imo State in order to access Abia State. So I think this is a very welcome development, and the state government should buy into it and look for private investors that will fund and construct the project. Even though the former governor of Abia State, Ikpeazu, performed abysmally, I think some of the things he said during the time he wanted to launch the airport constructions were true and would have gone a long way to actually generate more income for Abia State and boost employment rate in the state.